How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to talk about the power of positive perspective. If you want to be able to see your life differently so you can receive it differently, this is the episode for you. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep healing meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So something that is freeing, that is powerful, that gives you your power is this understanding. The world is not as it is. The world is as you are. You are what you perceive. So if you want to change the world, which is changing your experience, then you have to change what you are. If you want to change what you are, that is your perception. You have to change your perception. Or more importantly, you get to change your perception. So when I say things like that, people wonder, well, how do you do that? What's a different perspective? How can you see things differently without going back to old ways or seeing the wrong, seeing the hurt, seeing the pain? Like, how do you adjust to that positive perspective? And I was thinking about that and I realized that there's two simple ways that you can view something. You can view it from above or you can view it from below. You can view it from behind or you can view it from the front. And whatever perspective you decide to view your situation in is the experience that you'll create. For instance, if you're viewing yourself and then you have a goal of what you want to achieve, maybe it's a car that you want, maybe it's a house you want to have, whatever it is, you see yourself with this goal. When you view it from your current perspective and you see it, you see what you have. But if you view it from your future perspective and you see yourself now, you see what we don't have. This is why where you focus on is so important. Because if you're looking at yourself from your current into the future and seeing what you have, then you're viewing yourself as having it. But if you get lost in what you're trying to create and not staying in the now, then you'll see yourself without it. As you perceive, you will receive. So then you will continue to receive the situation where you are without. This is where it goes down to the law of attraction. Like attracts like. So you have to see yourself as it. Remember, your perception is what you are. So if you see yourself with it, then you perceive yourself with it, then you'll receive yourself with it. That's why perspective is so important. Perspective is everything that we have. It's never the situation, it's how we perceive it that matters. It's easy to understand when you say that the world is not as it is as you are when you think about a movie. Two people can go to a movie, and then when they go to explain it to you, they can explain two different movies, even though they saw the same thing. So the truth, it's the same for your experience on earth. It's not the actual experience, it's the perspective of the experience that matters. The same goes from viewing something from above or seeing it from below. When you see it from below, you see what you have to gain because you're coming from your past. You're coming from when you didn't have it. You're seeing up. You're seeing all the things. When you view it from above, you're seeing what you don't have. You're seeing what you have now and seeing that it's not around you. You always want to see from your current state in to where you're trying to go, not from where you're trying to go to now. And that's where so many people get lost. That's why when books like The Secret and stuff like that, I feel like they're missing that piece. They talk about manifesting, so creating this vision and then being in the vision, but then you get in the vision and then you view yourself without it. So it's a constant reminder that you don't have the thing. Whether it's a physique, money, whatever, you're seeing yourself without. You are an observer and a creator. That's all you do. You observe and you create. You create what you observe. So when you adjust your perspective to the perspective that you desire, you'll start seeing what it is that you want, and then you'll create it. If you gave yourself 12 months of complete commitment to that, what would change in your life? If every day you focused on where you're going, kept your eyes on it, lived as this, saw yourself with it, how would your life change? How different are you doing that now? Right now, what perspective are you operating in? If you're feeling antsy or anxious for something that you desire to happen, then you're not in the now. If you're constantly thinking about what's to come, and so you're not happy because it don't happen yet, whether it's the promotion, whatever the situation is, if you're just constantly wanting it, feeling the lack, then you'll create more of it. The unease within you about the situation will tell you the perspective that you're viewing it in. And when you shift the perspective, the unease fades. What you'll find is that there's inner peace when you build your positive mindset. It doesn't mean that there's not hurt. It doesn't mean you won't get sick. It doesn't mean you won't experience loss, pain. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. All those things will still happen, but your inner being, your state, will be centered. And you know that exists. You know that there are people that go through very difficult things, very painful things, but they're steadfast. They're well within, even though their body may not be, their mind may not be. Internally, their spirit, their soul is right within because of their perspective. They realize that nothing is actually happening to them. It's all happening for them because of their perspective. They see where they're going, which is the enlightened state. It's the bliss that they have within them now. So if somebody can do it, you can do it. So when you build this positive mindset, when you take control of your perspective, it doesn't mean life won't be hard. It doesn't mean you won't be sad. It doesn't mean you won't feel the pain. You will have all of those things. The difference is you will find the meaning and beauty in all of it always because you're shifting your perspective. It doesn't mean you don't experience the thing. What you receive from it is different. Remember, your perception is your reception. Two people can go to a movie and take away two different messages because of their perception. Your perception is your reception. The world is not as it is as you are. So pay attention to what you focus on. Pick the frequency that you want to experience in so that way you know what to focus on. Bring it into your life. Commit to a long-term commitment to doing this. This is not something that you do for a week and give up on. You've been doing it your whole life. So however old you are, you've been doing this already. So it's not about learning how to manifest. It's not about learning how to create what you observe. It's not learning how to do the law of attraction. You're already doing all those things. It's learning how to control what it is that you focus on. That's the focus. You don't have to become a manifestor. You don't have to become a creator. You don't have to become an expander. Any of those things you already are. You just have to become the person that's in control, or the being that's in control of what they're observing, what their perception is, and all of it will fall in line. This is how you rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective, something that might empower you to take your control back. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.